It's impossible to afford a house these days.
Young man, I bought my first house when I was 10 years younger than you.
What? Even with a good job between student loans and high cost of living, I can barely save any money.
Listen, I worked my way up from an entry-level job. You need to work harder and stop expecting handouts.
Whoa, stop! Hey, welcome back to Tool Scroll, folks. I'm so stoked to finally drop this video, and thanks a million for all your support. Just imagine this scenario. You've wrapped up your education, you've snagged a job that's paying the bills, and you're like, okay, it's time to take on adulting's Everest, getting your very own home. But here's the kicker, especially if you're a millennial, this dream can feel more like a trek up a steep mountain. So today, we're tackling a big question that's been on a lot of our minds. Can millennials really swing buying a house these days? I mean, it's like this milestone we've been told to aim for, right? You see, owning a home isn't just about having a cool place to crash. It's often seen as a sign that you're financially stable and an investment in your future. It's basically the American Dream 2.0, right? But the problem is, it's feeling more and more out of reach for us millennials. Now check this out, buddy. Here's the game plan. We're going to talk about the real challenges that us millennials are dealing with when it comes to scoring that elusive house. We're also throwing in a little twist. We're going to do a side-by-side with our parents' generation, the baby boomers. You won't believe how much things have shifted. So let's get this straight. It's not like us, the millennials, are 100% to blame for this house affordability puzzle. But here's the deal, my friend, every problem's got a solution. You got that right. At the end, I'm about to drop some financial know-how and tips that can help you inch closer to that ultimate goal, making that home sweet home all yours. So buckle up, my friend, because we're about to unveil the reasons behind why getting a piece of that real estate pie seems like mission impossible for so many of us millennials. Trust me, it's not a simple journey, and our generation is facing some unique financial hurdles when it comes to achieving the dream of homeownership. One major challenge millennials encounter is the stagnation of wages. Despite the cost of living steadily increasing, many millennials find that their incomes have not kept pace. Let's illustrate wage stagnation with an example in the retail industry. Imagine you're a retail worker in the United States, and you began your career in 2000. At that time, your hourly wage was $8. Over the years, you've seen some minor increases, but let's examine how wage growth compares to the rising cost of living. 2000, your wage is $8 per hour. 2005, after 5 years of work, you've received regular raises, and your wage is now $9 per hour. You've seen a $1 increase in 5 years, which may seem reasonable. 2010, another 5 years have passed, and your wage has gone up to $9.50 per hour. While there's still an increase, it's slower compared to the previous 5 years. 2015, okay, 10 years into your career, your wage has reached $10 per hour. This time, you've only received 50 cents increase over 5 years, indicating a slower rate of wage growth. 2020, after 2 decades of hard work, your wage has inched up to $10.50 per hour. The rate of wage growth continues to be sluggish. Now, let's consider the cost of living. 2000, the average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment was $600. 2005, rent has increased to $800 per month. 2010, rent now costs you $1,000 per month. 2015, you're paying $1,200 in monthly rent. And 2020, the cost of your one-bedroom apartment has soared to $1,500 per month. This scenario illustrates wage stagnation, where the increase in wages fails to match the rising expenses faced by workers, making it increasingly challenging to maintain a comfortable standard of living and save for long-term financial goals like homeownership. Wage stagnation can have significant implications for individuals and families in terms of financial security and quality of life. Sad, right? Not just that. Adding to this financial burden is the staggering student loan debt that many millennials carry. Let me give you approximate figures based on trends as of the last knowledge update in 2021. 2010, average student loan debt for millennials upon graduation was around $25K. 2015, debt for new graduates increased to about $30K. 2020, average debt climbed to approximately $37K. 2023, estimated. Recent graduates now face an average debt of nearly $40K. This example illustrates the significant growth of student loan debt over time among millennials, making it a substantial financial challenge for many in achieving their goals, including homeownership. Simultaneously, millennials are facing a rising home prices, where prices are soaring to unprecedented levels. Over the past few decades, home prices in many regions have surged dramatically. This means that the cost of buying a home today is substantially higher than it was for previous generations. Let's take a look at an example to illustrate this. Imagine you're a millennial looking to buy a home in a mid-sized city in 1990. At that time, the median home price was approximately $150K. Now fast forward to 2020, when you're finally ready to make your purchase. The median home price in the same area has skyrocketed to $300K. This doubling of home prices over 30 years is a clear indication of the significant rise in real estate costs. The soaring home prices present several challenges for millennials trying to enter the housing market. Higher down payments. With homes costing more, millennials often need larger down payments. Saving up this substantial sum is difficult, especially given other financial obligations like student loans and rising living costs. Affordability gap. The gap between millennials' incomes and the cost of housing has widened. Even with decent salaries, many find homeownership unattainable in their desired neighborhoods. Limited inventory. As demand for affordable homes has surged, inventory for starter homes has dwindled. This scarcity further drives up prices, making it harder for millennials to find suitable properties within their budget. Impact on financial goals. The need to allocate a significant portion of income to housing costs affects millennials' ability to save for retirement, invest, or meet other financial goals. In sum, the substantial rise in home prices over recent decades has created a formidable barrier for millennials aiming to enter the housing market, impacting their financial stability and future prospects. Let's compare numbers from the Boomer and Millennials generation. So, in 1970 to 1980, when you bought your house, the house cost was about 2.5 to 3.5 times your salary. Currently, the average house cost is 7.3% of the average salary. That's double.
All right. I can see why you're complaining.
Well, we've talked about the challenges, but now it's time for some solutions. Let's explore how millennials can make their homeownership dreams a reality. First up, we've got down payment assistance programs. These are like financial boosters that can help cover a chunk of your down payment. As an example, imagine you find your dream home for $250K, and the down payment is typically 20%, which is $50K. With a down payment assistance program, you might receive a grant or a low-interest loan that reduces this upfront cost, making it more manageable. Next, let's talk about flexible mortgage options. Think of these as tailor-made loans designed to fit your financial situation. Suppose you're a millennial with a steady job, but struggling to save for a large down payment. With a flexible mortgage, you might be able to secure a home with a lower down payment requirement, like 5% or 10%. This can make all the difference in affording your first home. And here's a real game changer: employer assistance programs. Some forward-thinking companies are stepping in to help their employees realize their homeownership dreams. So there you have it. 3 powerful solutions to help millennials overcome the hurdles of homeownership. These options can make that first step onto the property ladder a lot less daunting. Now let's turn these solutions into action and make those homeownership dreams come true. Hey, here's another cool thing you can do to kickstart your homeownership journey. Develop a saving habit. I get it. It might sound like the most basic advice in the book, but trust me, it's a golden one. If you can manage your spending and tuck away just 5% or 10% of your income, it could work wonders for that down payment fund. So no need to feel like homeownership is this distant dream for us millennials. We're all in this together, facing these unique challenges head on. And hey, let's spread some positivity down in the comments. Share your thoughts and tips if you've got them. We're here to support each other, right? So best of luck, folks. And make sure to follow Tool Scroll for more savvy financial tips to help you navigate these waters, even with all that pesky inflation trying to throw us off track.